Aloha guys, this is Soraya Lutronel, your Big Island real estate agent, and today we're going to talk about the top 5 reasons why you want to raise your children right here in Hawaii in Kailua-Kona. So let's get right into it. The first reason why you want to raise your children right here is because of the outstanding natural beauty and all the outdoor activities that your kids can do. Of course, that's what attracts most people to Hawaii, right? When you think about it, it's going to be the waterfalls, the rainforests, how pretty and everything is tropical, the stunning beaches, the hiking trails. There's just so much that can be done outside. And there are so many outdoor activities that your kids can do that are very unique to Hawaii. So they can do things like kayaking, canoeing, paddling, stand-up supping. They can also, of course, like swim, snorkel, that kind of stuff. There's other things that they could do too, like they can go hiking, they can go dirt biking, they can do all those types of things. That's also available right here in Hawaii. And the other reason why this is great for children is because the weather is so mild all year long. So what that means is you're not going to have to worry about super high heat where you need to really be conscious about their temperature, how much water they intake. Of course, that's always going to be something to think about, but it's not going to be as scary as it would be in, let's say, Arizona during the summer. And we also have very mild weather, so we don't have really harsh winters where you'd have to worry about your children, getting cold, having the right kind of clothing every time they go outside. That's not going to be an issue here. I mean, if you look at most children that are growing up here, they are barefoot and in bikinis or swimsuits. It's just so nice that they just go and they play outside and they're wild. The second reason why you'd like to raise your children right here in Hawaii is the community. There's a very strong sense of community right here in Hawaii. You will get to know your neighbors and they will get to know you. Especially if you have children, they will end up more than likely being friends, hanging out on a cul-de-sac or on the street, riding their bikes, inviting each other. That's very, very common here, and I feel like sometimes that's a little bit lost on the mainland, but you don't have that here in Hawaii. There's a very tight-knit community, and neighbors usually support each other, watch each other's children, have each other's backs. So it's very nice to have that. Another thing that kind of builds that community sense and that tightness is that there's a lot of local events that, sometimes tourists go to, but sometimes they don't. And you will get to notice people that keep coming very frequently, and then you'll get accustomed to them and learn that they are local as well. And most of the time people are very open, very friendly, very welcoming, and so you can make a connection with them. So those events will be community events, of course, like we have a lot of community events in Kona and Hilo and Waimea, or even in the south in Kau, there's a lot of them. There's farmers markets. We also have local festivals. Some of them are even more geared toward children. Like we have mainland stuff like we would have here. Like we have a pumpkin patch. We have a Renaissance fair. We have a lot of like festivals like the Kona Coffee Festivals, the Ka'u Festival. There's also a Merry Monarch Festival, which is like a hula competition, and that's in Hilo. So there's a lot of things that your kids can do that are kind of more local, that are very different, but also very nice because you're creating that community. Okay, so outdoor activities, sense of community. The third thing that you need to look into, which of course all families ask about before they move to Hawaii, is schools, education. That's very important, of course. And Hawaii, the Big Island, has multiple options for that. We have public schools, we have private schools, and we also have a lot of charter schools. Now it's going to be up to you to decide, the type of education that you want to provide to your children. So I would look into each school's website, look into the core values of each school, the type of attention that they provide to your kids, and also how much support they provide to your children, the activities available to them, and make an educated decision that way for what fits your family, your lifestyle, and your core values. And then ask some of the community members or parents that have their children going there to see what their experience and feedback is. If you have more questions about schools, of course, I can give you all the resources you need where you can see all the schools that are available right here on the Big Island. I can tell you that some of the private schools in the north in Waimea are quite expensive, but they're also some of the best schools available. We have people from, for example, during COVID, we had a lot of parents that were from the Bay Area that came here to Hawaii to do education for their kids in that school because that school was still open as per, the limits available and all that stuff. And their children were able to still go to really fun beaches and have that experience. And a lot of those families actually decided to stay here in Hawaii instead of going back to the Bay Area. So there's a lot of, and that tells a lot because the school system usually over there is top notch. So there's a lot of options depending on your lifestyle, what you're into. There's also great charter schools that are amazing. I have some friends with their kids who go there, who rave about them and the attention that their kids get. So it's really up to you to decide what fits your lifestyle. The fourth reason why you should raise your kids right here in Hawaii is the healthy lifestyle. There's a very laid back vibe and way of living right here in Hawaii, which is also one of the reasons why a lot of people are attracted to Hawaii. It's because it's a slower pace. There's not a whole bunch of hustle and bustle, and it's just a way to live your core values in a better environment for your children and yourself. And so this type of laid back vibe really encourages like a balanced lifestyle between work and play. And you can see that when you look at people at the beach with their families who spend a lot of time together. And it's very slow paced, right? You go to the beach, you set up your tent, and a lot of people have their kids playing in the ocean all day long or right here on the shore. Most of the time, you'll eat right here on the beach, or you'll go catch what you're going to eat, come back to the shore and cook it right there. It's just a different type of lifestyle, and it's quite amazing. And there's definitely an emphasis on fresh produce, fresh catch, so like the fish and that kind of stuff, seafood. So it's more of a farm to table dining type of environment where a lot of people value that, but eating from the island and eating local produce that's been harvested right here on the island. There's definitely an emphasis also on outdoor activities, right? Because we're in Hawaii, it's beautiful, there's so much to do, so many outdoor activities. So when you think of your children and the type of lifestyle that they'll have a lifestyle where the locals encourage eating local fresh produce and doing a lot of outdoor activities. That's usually what a lot of people are looking for. And I know from some of my family members living in really cold areas that sometimes, it's hard to get your kids to enjoy those two things, right? Going outside, being super active, and eating veggies. So that's something that's very open here and that a lot of people do. So that's kind of a cool thing. The fifth reason why you'd want to raise your children in Hawaii, and I can speak to this coming from Houston, Texas, prior to living in Hawaii, is that if you have your Amber Alerts, right, in a city like Houston, your phone, at least when we lived there, our phone used to blow up all the time. There were constant Amber Alerts for things that were going on. And I can tell you that I do have my Amber Alerts on right here on the Big Island, and it's very rare that anything happens. And usually when something happens, everybody knows about it, everybody talks about it because it's a big deal and we just don't have a lot of crime. Because I'm a real estate agent, I can't really speak to, the safety level of certain neighborhoods and things like that. But what I can do is I can show you resources that talk about the crime level rates, and then I encourage you to really look into the difference between where you're living now versus the Big Island. And most of the time, my clients have found that they can see a large difference in the crime rates, and that the Big Island is usually a lot less crime than where they come from. So you'll see right here this map that kind of shows you how we have a lot of green, a lot of light yellow, some orange, but we don't have a lot of really deep red and purple that show, a lot of high crime areas. So I hope this video was very helpful to you and that you get to learn a little bit about the Big Island, activities available for your children, and maybe if that's a fit for you and your family. If you have any additional questions or anything specific that you'd like me to address, feel free to shoot me a comment or subscribe to my channel, and I'll probably address it in a different video to help you guys out. Aloha, this is Soraya. Have a great day. Bye.